Okay, so doing something a bit different tonight with BluePrince. Normally, BluePrince Mondays, BluePrince nights for me, and tonight's no different. But difference here is that number one, I'm on my PC. I'm streaming this off of the Steam version, not the PS5 version that I normally play Bingo from, and the 90% of the reason why I got the version on on Steam was just so I could load mods. Specifically, well, one mod in particular. That's the only one I've loaded, and the only one I have any intention of really loading is the free roam mod. And I poked around a little bit, and I decided to go ahead and run a stream on it to see if anybody had any ideas if you happen to pop in. Otherwise, I have a list of things that I want to look at, and otherwise, I'm just going to be drafting some random rooms and looking around, and then see where we go from there. So I left this file is off. I did a 100% completion run on the on my Steam account, and so this is where I left off. I finished on day 42, got the last trophy in the case, and that was the last bit that I needed for 100%ing it. So, yeah, so we're on day 43. It's not in a great state for exploring, but, you know, like I didn't leave myself a mailbox out front or jackhammer in Cote check, that sort of thing that I would normally do if I was leaving an account ready for exploring and screenshotting stuff. So, just for starters, if you've never seen it, and because I hadn't, when you're in the free roam mod, push F5, and at that point, it remembers where you left off. You're frozen. Time keeps going in game, but you can now float all over the place. You can see time is still going. You can kind of get an idea of what is automatically drafted and visible outside just from the second you walk into the house. And as soon as you move into the house, all the stuff outside is no longer rendered and ready for you, with some exceptions. As that was one of the first things that I noticed was walking in and kind of looking around. And you can look around, it's like, ah, this is very nice. Obviously, there's no textures. You can see from way up here, everything's pretty flat because it's not fully loaded. But, you know, you can't see the tunnel down there. You can see all the way over to here. Dig spots there. But I love the wall of trees that's here. But the stuff over here is not rendered automatically, and it won't be until you actually walk closer in game. So it's kind of cool to see like what actually gets set up and visible from the moment you start playing. Like this road we can follow, just out of sight, past the gates that aren't there. So, I mean, I'm assuming all, you know, for husbanding resources. Hey, Cellar, how's it going? But yeah, it's really interesting just to get an idea of what's here and what isn't here as you move. And when you get up high and you take a look, there's the house. And by default, the antechamber is there. The entrance hall is here, of course, because we were just there. But you can see where my foundation is because it's already, from the second you start your day, it's already decided what kind of doors you have and how many dig spots are in your foundation if you already have a foundation. The boat is already sitting down there waiting, as are some of the external textures for out here. But obviously, you know, this shadowy entranceway doesn't exist. The elevator, I was interested to see, doesn't have any sort of, you know, physically, the elevator could not fit here. We're in the middle of rock at this point now. So there's no space for the elevator, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then when you're done kind of roaming around, because obviously you can only see a very limited area of what's rendered and what's ready and waiting for you when you start. And when you push the button, you have what's available to you from where you're standing right then, and that's it. And so when you're done, you push the button again, and it snaps you right back to where you were, and you keep going about your day. So, Sella, there's a pinned comment. If there's any rooms that you're interested in seeing, kind of behind the scenes, and if there's any, what I've always kind of wondered about this room, and is there something hidden there? That's what I'm doing tonight. Is just kind of looking around. I got a list of a few rooms that I want to poke and try and get, and see if we can pull it off. And just sort of poke around. I've got a couple things that I know are interesting that I'll get to in a little bit, but at the moment I'm going to draft around a little bit and see what happens. The study would be really great for finding what I need, but I don't need it right off the bat. Now, see, just from this one room, from having moved one room away from the entrance hall, all of a sudden now everything over here is gone because you don't need to see it. It's not there, so it's saving resources. But what I find fascinating in all of this, and people who've talked to me on streams and know, in their streams, etc., know of my obsession. Look what's already sitting over here and is always over here is the frickin' bird baths. The bird baths are always here. I don't know why. I don't know what it means. But the bird baths are always here. Go check on this side of the house. Look what's over here. This thing sitting there, there's your microchip just waiting because it has to know. And the 2 bird baths. I'm telling you. So, all right, let's keep going here. Pantry, parlor, since I'm going to be hopefully getting the study pretty soon here to help with drafting rooms that I want. What I really like is the library, and then I can turn on Yellow King power and see if I can get the bookshop, because that's on my list. Oh crap. And just because we're here, and you can see, so please note the fact that the safe is sitting here. There's space carved out for it outside the wall, and then when you draft it, it's opened up, but there is physically a space here for it. This will become important later. Also, we have the back side of these guys, so they're literally just like sticking out from the wall, which is I find kind of funny. All right, let's see here. Observatory's fine. As long as I can keep moving. Okay, here's another one. I'm kind of curious. What? Hello, Blue Flames. And Birdbath. That's interesting. It does put a dome up here. Interesting. Hello. I don't know when the last time I noticed and just paid attention to the fact that the plants were up there. I honestly don't know the last time I really noticed those things. All right, what do we got here? Resources, resources, resources. I mean, okay. I guess I did leave myself something good. So we'll grab this and then we will head back out and go underground. Okay. Vestibule's fine. I have the master key. It's kind of curious. Interesting. Okay, where am I going? This way. Wine cellar is on my list of rooms to check out. Let's check it out. Because there are, of course, long-standing myths that it looks like you should be able to do something in this room, and I don't disagree with those suppositions. So, let's take a look. So we have the backside here. Some texturing. Just the barrels, which... nothing there. Well, that's kind of cool. Okay, well, as near as I can tell, this would seem to confirm that there is nothing secret. Because there's nothing, essentially nothing back behind here, which would be the only place you could really put something, or if that slid up, but I don't see any evidence of space behind it. Okay, well, there's one myth disproven. I don't know. I mean, people have speculated on this, like if you touch the right wine bottles in the right order, or picked up the gems in the right order, or push things, etc., etc. Like I've seen endless streamers and who just they know something is in the wine cellar. It's got to be, and it does. I mean, I think what does it is the fact that this whole half of the room is blocked off with this wall, so it looks like there's space to do something, and you have all these things, and it's a room of secrets and puzzles. And come on, wine cellar, secret door, makes a lot of sense. But there does not seem to be anything to back that up in reality. Let's rotate, and I don't hate the dovecote here. Let's fly up and take a look around. I'm curious. Interesting. Why do you have such interesting color textures on you? Hello. You never get to come up and see all these random birds that are all completely identical. Oh. But see, you can see where they have, you can see the textures coming through, so when there is something, even just the space behind the wall being used, you can see how it comes through. And there's that the void, the space that you see, and then so they have to build it into the wall like this behind the scenes. Let's go check out the eels. This is a free roaming mod that I added. This is my the Steam version of the game, and so you can't mod PlayStation version, so that was actually like 90% of the reason I went ahead and got the Steam version, was just so I could get the free roaming mod and look around and look at all the crazy stuff, take better screenshots, that sort of thing. Because this is a much clearer picture on my computer screen than my PlayStation through OBS and the capture card, etc. This is much better definition, so if I want to take screenshots for more videos and such, I'll be taking them from this. Alright, let's go say hi to the fish. Eels. That is a crazy look. I was kind of curious, like if the arrows and X's and such were here, and you couldn't see them through the glass, but yeah, they're just the markers aren't even there unless the water's drained, which makes sense. Indeed, eels, honey, eels. Hello, Fijis. The big purple fish. I mean, close up, he's huge. Kind of cool, though. Let's see. I do need to head east because but I still need to find the study, so I need to wrap my way back down south. Because I would really love to get the garage like on rank 8 or 9 if it'll let me, but 8 is the one that I'm aiming for. Be curious to see the veranda over here. Because now now we have to be able to see out onto the east lawn. So this gentleman with his censer of incense yeah, the house just looks so lonely. It's all empty except for the one room you're in. And but if you're looking that direction, then this room stays there. But if you're not looking that direction, no more aquarium. So it's very efficient with its resources. And what it's showing you and what what's keeping loading as you're exploring. Alright. Now the foundation is interesting because the elevator shaft is here down to a certain point. It's like and if you watch it when you're going down the elevator for real, you can see when it shifts and there's a jump in the video when it does it. Hey Jen, how's it going? So the foundation is kind of a cool room just because it's so it's unique in the way it's structured and the fact that it actually goes down below. All right, let's see. We have a couple different directions. I'd love to be able to get down to the study and find a study and get some real rerolls. Well, Chamber of Mirrors would be interesting. Difficult to explore from where it is now. Maid's Chamber is on my list, but I don't, kind of screws the day up a bit. Let's try Chamber of Mirrors. Let's just see what happens. I don't know that there's going to be anything all that interesting up here, but still, it's... See, okay, so again, now take note, the space that holds the thing is here, the thing inside is not drafted. That will become very important soon. Okay, so the thing to note right now is that the space where things go is physically here, ready to go, waiting for someone to open the doors. And when we head outside and downstairs, that will be very important to look at. So let's see if we can actually continue going a little bit here today. I would love to get some more of my things checked off. Speaking of which, let me check off wine cellar. Okay, pantry's not horrible. Okay, chapel's one of the ones I wanted to look at because I've already seen this, but it was something that was on my list and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. Because that stained glass has been driving me nuts because it looks like, is that a wing or is it a bird or what? And what's that going on there? This stained glass has been driving me nuts since I first started playing the game practically. And so it's like, all right, this was one of the first things that I looked at when I got this mod up and running. And it's actually rather disappointing. If you look at it from enough angles to get an idea, it's basically that sun diagram with some orange coloring and yellow coloring around it. It's actually quite whelming. And those are doves. I had wondered a while before I got a good look at them if those were like wingtips, and maybe that was a secret angel. Was that a Simon stained glass? I've seen people wonder, or if it was Herbert, or maybe Mom. I've seen many theories, and it's just a sunburst that looks exactly like this one. And can't really get a look at this, that bottom section of the glass that I think right there. I guess it's just some blue there. And sadly, confirm he lives on, but he's trapped down here forever. Poor Hamwise Gamgee. Let's see, in terms of the game, I found the 2 blue doors. Are there more? To anyone's knowledge, there are just the 2 blue doors, and that's one of the things that I want to go check out. I don't have the I don't have Monk, and I don't have Secret Passage monked to go and explore it, so it's going to take me a day or so in game to set that up. But yeah, I don't know if I was excited or sad to see Hamwise still down here. Although, wait a second. Okay, no, I was like, are there 2 Hamwises? Is he doubled up? And because here we see his back facing a red front, and now we see his front. But yeah, no, it's just the way that things look. But yeah, even poor Hamwise is still just stuck down here the whole time in his own little space that's just waiting for something to resummon him. But I think it's actually kind of funny. Like, the money is still going into Hamwise. You just can't ever get him back up again. So, but the mechanic in the game, I assume, is actually still the same. That it's just capturing all your money in a Hamwise that shall never rise again. But yeah, so like the cool thing about this is the ability to get up and really get good screenshots of stuff like this that you cannot get from the ground level, or at best you get, these weird things, or you get the sort of that angled shot if you get it close enough where it starts looking weird. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to get this for screenshots. Curious that crown looks an awful lot like the one on J.R. Yena's statue. Not sure if that's significant at all. Our friend outside with the incense censer is in here as well. And there's a duplicate of her downstairs. That's interesting. Alright, I would love to turn west, please. That's not west. But we can pet the puppers. And the puppers are good luck. Interesting. There's actually a tunnel under here. Huh. I wonder why. I mean, it serves no practical purpose in the game. Those make sense that there's a door at least, and you just have the texture on the backside of it. Because it's there. But the actual tunnel under here, that's curious. Okay. Where'd you go? Who needs pets? Nobody? Y'all sounded very excited for a minute there. Alright. But alright, we will have to try for the garage on another day, and we'll go head outside and look at stuff after this. Okay, let's see here. Not really anything unexpected here. Although I do find it fascinating how immediately it just redrafts the exterior and boom, now there's, a carve out here for it to fit in. It's just so efficient. There's a road. Not sure why that's there. Is it just as the backside of the house? Huh. Interesting. I guess just because since we can see outside, it has to start rendering this outside area and therefore automatically puts in parts of the house. Or, actually, that's why. Because you can see it from here. Huh. Okay, well, let's go explore outside. Alright, so real fast, let's take a look here, because this I find quite interesting. Number one, there's a glitch here that I did not notice until I was playing before, but let's see, where can you see it? At some point, and maybe it's because I came down, how I came down, I'm not sure. Okay, it must be because of the way you come down. At some point, you can see the entrance hall reflected in the water below, like the actual floor plan entrance hall, not the real room, like the room blueprint image of it. But you can also fly down here to nowhere. Oh no. If we go and take the boat ride, and come back down, and this all actually stays here rather than leave. And you can see those are the doorways in the water from where the house is being drafted up above. Which is kind of weird once you know what you're looking at. But, and again, to confirm for all conspiracy theorists, I have gone behind all the walls here. There's a space here, but no visible way of... Nothing indicated that there would be a way in here, though. But there's an actual floor of the area behind this wall. Which, you know, if you're just drafting shapes, doesn't hurt to leave that there. Whereas this is just pretty carved off to match the shape of the interior room. All the way around. So if there was to be anything anywhere in a secret down here, it would be on that one flat space over there. Everything else over here, there's nothing hiding down beneath the walls, in the floor. There's this. Just an open texture there. And then if you come down here, you can see down into the railways until you get out the other side. It's just layers of shadow to make it naturally start looking darker and darker until it can safely disappear on both sides. Which is kind of cool. The other cool thing that I thought was especially cool to be able to go wander around and take a look at. Let's see, we need to rotate this. Should be the right one. So for starters, come down, you can see. Just kind of cool that they have the gears down here, all the way down. You can see into the adjoining room. Nothing special, just kind of cool. Head outside, most of which obviously isn't here. But this is cool, because once you're up here and can see out the window, why this one doesn't stay unlocked. This is just freaking cool. The textures obviously are pretty simple because you're only supposed to see it at a distance in shadows. But the fact that you can actually fly around and see in much better lighting, no less, because you're not looking at it through the shadow filter they have there. Nope, too far. But yeah, it's just that is a perspective and an image that you could never get to see in the main game. But it's all here. In the blocked off entranceway into the castle proper. This is a very small castle when you really get down to it. Because if this is a normal sized doorway and you were to walk across, this is a really teeny tiny minaret. Or this thing is like, that'd be really, really, really tight spiral staircase to be climbing up. But it's just a really cool perspective to get to see in here and see where it is in relation to everything. So there's the castle is here. Let's see. Where are we? Let's reorient here. Castle's there, so this is the main entranceway. So that way is the safe house. Yeah, so there's the water that goes out to the safe house. So that's the royal station down there. And then the castle lost somewhere over here that I can't find it anymore. Where'd it go? Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so there's our castle, which is... There's the hallway, that long curve hallway that connects over, so the sanctum is right behind the castle. With all those lovely sanctum puzzles. This tactic is right behind it and not... Yeah. Kind of an interesting location choice. Okay, so there's the castle. That looks like the stairs where the boat goes. Okay, yeah, so the royal station is way over there on the far side of the gear puzzle from here. It's sort of easy to get turned around. But like it looks like it's like, oh my god, there's a whole big castle over there, but you know, and maybe it's supposed to look like it's a further away in perspective and therefore larger, but it's not as big as you might expect. And as long as we're down here, okay, yeah, I didn't open the antechamber at all. So, confirmed that if you go down here just a little ways... Oh, I should probably turn on this. That they don't really fit. Because where this one would be, the bridge would extend over. This would be right on top of that. The souvenir alcove for Aries would be right on top of this thing. So they really do occupy the same space. Hey, Nadia, how's it going? But it's cool. I mean, you can see these are all stay here once you're in the sanctum. But from here, where they all stay slightly more rendered, they're still, it saves just enough so that it doesn't have to load them until you actually walk down that corridor into one of them to see the whole thing. And let's see, if we were to fly straight up from the sanctum, the house is not drafted properly, but based on where these rooms are, so this is that my greenhouse. This is the inner wall of the greenhouse, so walking this way up to those higher ranks, and then this way. This is like right below, I want to say, the antechamber, or the one right just south of the antechamber. So if you could see all the rooms and doors of the house, it'd be easier to recognize. But I guess, I mean, location-wise, it is right at where that lever would be, directly where it needs to be. Yeah, this is a free roaming mod on the Steam version. So I'm testing stuff. There's one place that I've already seen that I'm going to go show now that I think is actually fascinating and could still fuel some conspiracy theories about this game. And if you walk outside, or you walk inside and then turn around and walk back out, so that all of the outside has unrendered, or whatever the proper technical term is, and there's nothing out there except like the mountains and trees in the distance. The bird baths are they're all still sitting there. They're all just floating in midair. The bird baths are 100% always present in the game, no matter what. What does it mean, indeed? So here we are up top. And here we're in the alcoves, and all the chess pieces are actually still sitting here. So they're all just hiding in their little alcoves, waiting to be seen. There's the tunnel that leads back to the torch chamber, of course. But most importantly, when you come in here and you go down through this corridor, and you get down to the Court of Aries, this is the part that I found so interesting about this. You look in here, there's nothing here, because until this opens, there's not even the space for where the key goes. There's just this blank void inside. But what about the theories that there's something that maybe this moves, that there's something in here, there's something behind it, and there's got to be something, right? Because it looks like it's a frickin' door that should move, because it's not like the textures around it. You can see something's off about this. There is a space back here. I don't know why there would be a space back here, unless that is supposed to move. Somehow. Because I mean, seriously, it has always looked like there's something to this, that it's got to move, it's going to slide out of the way, or something God only knows. But what happened? We get to here, and there really is just this space here that serves no purpose for why it would have been designed this way, unless it was just put here, and then, you know what? We don't know what we decided we're not going to use this space. Rather than get rid of it, let's just make up a picture and slap it on the front of it. Which still seems quite sus. So I need you, the man who I believe to be Aries the 8th, to reveal your secrets one of these days. Please. But yeah, tell me that's not suspicious. So there's nothing back on any of this stuff. Nothing above or below this nice little octagonal room that's there. Love the flat trees. But, yeah. More than a little suspicious. Shrine? Damn. Might as well take a look at the trading post. I wonder what it would look like if you had not blown that up yet. Coffee. Even here, there is no coffee. Still only coffee. Alright, gonna need that shrine game. Alright, dirigible blocks. Have you any secrets? Dirigible up top. I don't think I ever realized that was a little person. There's nothing inside the dirigible blocks. Uh-oh. I am... Hello? Game. Whoa. That was interesting. Did stream do anything weird there, or was that just me? Like, I was stuck for a second, like it clicked out, and so I was no longer in the game, so all the movement I was doing wasn't working. Yeah, sorry. Nothing inside the dirigible blocks cabinet. Never really saw what all the stuff that's here. Sure. Oh, little tiny coffee can up here. Oh, here we go. B-Cam tape 12. They're all the same. Add Bunk Room onto my list. Oh, as long as we're at the end of a day and about to start another one here. This way. That was definitely worth the poking at just to see what it looked like inside there, though. By the way, yeah, so the reflective floor is just another room underneath it, which is a really cool way of doing it. There's nothing in here. Maybe I had to rob me of my trunk. Alright, so the other cool things that are out here before we finish off this particular day. I need my microchips. Alright, so yeah, so if you see from back here, from before we go in there, all this back here is just some unrendered stuff. Nothing off in the distance. Nothing all that terribly interesting. But again, husbanding resources for efficiency's sake. Once this opens up, and now that is a little bit further east than I thought it was, because that's north, so it's actually, and the castle, the Arinia Castle is like right below where we are now, so it's slightly off. I had always assumed that the castle was like right below. God, this is so hard to navigate from up here. It was like right below this, so it's really close, the underground castle we looked at. But it's not quite as close as I thought it was. But what we can do is we can go fly on over and say hi to Reddington. Which is just kind of funny. Yeah, it ends up being so much smaller than you think, but it's so far away, the perspective messes with you. It's a lot like the way the castle is underground. Like, the flags aren't even connected to the towers they're on. It just looks like it because we're so far away. Actually, even from here, if you look really closely, you can see that those two flags back there aren't actually connected to the towers. So, this is kind of interesting, just where everything is in relation to each other. And there's the drive. This suddenly looks really weird without any trees here. For the first time, the dig spot and the bird bath are not here. I think that's the first time I've seen the bird bath not be here. But these bird baths are still here. So the conspiracy stands. Nothing underneath the water there. You're gonna let me put a coin in the fountain while I'm in free roam? All right, let's call it a day there. And then, so we still need. I checked out Aries Court, and I checked out Reddington. So primary, I need to get a shrine. Oh, I was yellow king power. No wonder Trading Post was there. So the rest of what I have to look at, I really would love like a rank 9 clock tower, which I don't have on my list, but I need to be there. And also like a rank 8 or 9 garage. I need to get the bookstore. Long term, for the monking and everything, I would love to get the Atelier up and just go see what happens down there within Blue Hell when you have roaming abilities like this. And then I want to look at something in the attic, and I want to look at something in the bunk room. So there are a handful of goals I would just think would be really interesting to try and find. Oh, I should have ended in the break room. Now I don't have my... Oh my god, I really screwed myself. I didn't re-coat check my master key, and I ended outside the break room, so I don't have my electronic key card. Crap. Wow, I really screwed myself over. Alright, well there's my study. That'll help. I don't hate the den. Which, let's just say... Look around, because again, the den is the subject of many conspiracy theories. There is technically a space in here behind the lock. So that does nothing for the conspiracy of that particular one. But I don't see anything else that could be anything interesting. Which I do find it cool that there is an inside to these things. Even if it's just, random wall texture inside. Kind of cool. Oh, hello. All right. Pool works just to move me around. All right, here we go. All right. There's officially not even like in an interesting space back here. So hopefully that one's put to bed. Oh, interesting. This is still here, but now it's just floating at a level below the visible surface of the room. That's interesting. Like just the way they make that work. So this is literally just the water level with that slightly greenish tint to it, and they just literally raise this up to a point where it's overlapping some of the stairs, etc., and those things just come along with it. Interesting. Silly lockpicking skills. Boiler has some interesting looks to it here. Just that this thing goes so far up for some reason. And then so far down. And I'm not sure why. Maybe this rod has something to do with sort of measuring and tracking where this thing is in its progress. Maybe, I don't know. But that's about all there is. There's not really anything too much else going on up here. The floating light fixtures, interesting. Not connected to the ceiling, it seems. So here again we have the mirror floor of the ballroom is just this. Which is cool. I did a mirror image room in a puzzle map I made for my kids in Minecraft, and this is basically the way I did it. I just made the top room and then put the mirror image below it and built it just like this with a glass floor. And it was actually a spot the difference sort of thing where you had to look and see the lights that were turned on down below and then push switches up top to make the lights up top match the way they were down below as a puzzle. Okay, now the reason I wanted this nice high-ranked garage is because at this point, when you curve around the front of the house here, you're far enough north that that is there. Which is... This is rank 8, so that's rank 9, so you really can't see... rank 10. You can't see where room 46 is over here, which is in this giant void right below us. Interesting. Okay, enough layers here, guys. Seriously. There we go. So I was curious what you would be able to see from over here. And yeah, so you still can't see room 46. I am still mildly curious if I were to get into room 46 now, and I've got keys, so I can head back to the Great Hall if I can get over there. I'm curious if it would become visible or what might change. Now, I would also really love to get a nice rank 9 clock tower at this point, as long as we're doing stuff on the north end of the house here. Oh, I didn't even think about that, Nadia, but I'm assuming no. Sorry, I didn't see your comment in time. I'm assuming you can't see inside the box to see the gems. But that would be worth testing out next time I get a parlor. Thank you. But that would take both my gems. Clock tower is exactly what I wanted. Was a rank 9 clock tower. Thank you, game. And the reason why is because, let's get our bearings here. So that should be west. And this is north. And this becomes really interesting as far as what the hell are we looking at? Because this is, I mean, there's nothing here, obviously. But This is rank 9 right here. Which means the antechamber is... So this should be dark room here. And this is the antechamber space. Which... That's interesting. I guess it just drops it down below visibility when it's not being used? That interesting texture. I've not had this happen before. But yeah. So this is about where the antechamber is, which means right here should be room 46. What the hell is that tunnel? Because there's no long tunnel between the antechamber and room 46. It makes for a very interesting, like, there's no reasonable way that that fits together like that. And I've seen this structure from there, and like, why is that look like that? Because what you can see here, like, you can't see well enough. You can't see far enough down to see whether or not, like, the windows from room 46 looking out and that sort of thing. But you can just barely see enough to see that there are no windows there. Like, the structure of this thing makes no sense when we actually consider room 46. Which, let's see if we have enough steps to do. And also, I'm wondering if I can just, like, clip through the wall here. Nope. Okay, yeah, so this space is not here. The puzzle space isn't there for the sanctum key. Alright, I was curious about that. Okay, so okay. But along over here. Oh, that's cool. You see the actual drum, the full thing here. I don't think I realized that there was... I was saying, I didn't think I realized that there was a moon behind it, because there isn't. Interesting. So one of these, yeah, and when they turn, one of those would be... So you would see this one as... Is that one in eclipse? My classroom stuff. With the crescent on the right-hand side, with the rogue moon over there, is the in eclipse. Okay, so this is the in eclipse, and the Orinda Aries sigil is all over the is eclipse. Interesting, because you would be viewing it this way. Huh. All right. And there's our levers. And I knew you could see this from out here. So if you draft the garage north of the secret garden, for instance, you can see this little thing sticking out, which is another clue that there might be something back in here. And then you can also, once you get outside to the grounds, you can access the second lever on the back side of the secret garden. So even if you haven't bashed that down, you can still get to the second lever. Huh. Interesting. Hello, boat. And way over there, hello, bird baths. I see you. Don't think I've forgotten you. Never think that I've forgotten you. Alright, well, now I guess I don't need to worry about which door to unlock in the Great Hall, but we will go back and take a look at that. You'd think because the layout of the Great Hall should be fixed. Because it's known, because it has to be in the drafting studio. So I would assume that the layout at least is fixed, but maybe not the location of the lever would be visible. I don't know. At some point, it has to know where it is before you open the door. Okay, here we go. Let's check these rooms here. Okay, so there's the structure. That's the dead end, the shortened room. That opens over to the foundation. Hey, it even has the... I mean, obviously it would have to know what's in them because the metal detector has to ping. So that makes sense. That it already knows what's here. But didn't I open that lever game? Or did I forget? Hello. It again later. Okay, let's see, because I wanted to come down and get a good look at... We have True Frontiers, Sup with them runes. What's up with them runes? Greater than who? Bay Creek, Tin Star Malady, Pajama Showdown, Hanged on Sunday, Buck Donahue, and Queens Over Nines. There's another copy of Vera Turtles, The Tolworth Boys, Highway Robbery, and Out of Dodge City. Some wild titles there. Ambush MTNEX? Mountain Nex? What are you on the bottom here? Oh! ACAM tape 56. Interesting. The taped recordings of the house. There's our Turtles of Vera, of course. Trinsdale Mystery. Can we see the other side out of curiosity? ACAM tapes 55 and 6 again, or 56. Interesting. I never saw the Rubik's Cube down here before. So okay, let's see here. Back it up. All right, so the colors on a Nevmora Rubik's Cube: green, red, pink, blue, orange, white. Come on. Green, blue, white, pink, orange, red. Okay, that's it. Okay, interesting. I don't know why, but that's what we got. None of the books have titles. Camp Colonel. Hey, buddy. Whoa, too close. Too close. Who's a good little furball? Oh, hamster butt. Oh, this poor little guy. He can't see out into the world. It's opaque. That's just mean. Poor little guy. All right. Well, that was kind of cool. Interesting to. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever actually noticed that Rubik's cube back there. Cool. But yes, indeed. Sup with them runes. Oh, hello. Saves me a little bit of having to go down underground to find the lever, and we can take a peek around here. Okay, good. Both east and west are open. Not a whole lot to see here, but I'm always interested about the ones that are, the rooms that are higher than the regular one story would allow for. So, like for instance, the chapel over here, I already came up here once and poked around in the rafters a bit. Alright, where have we not gone yet? Over this way. Oh! Alright, we'll try that one again. I do need a regular secret passage, so I may have to king orange at this rate. Alright, well, as long as we're here, let's see what this looks like this way. Okay. I was just curious what it would look like without a room pointing to it yet. So it is there. Okay, and I had kind of wondered if the bricks made a square here that we just never noticed, but now it doesn't look like it. Also, okay, the stuff is not just waiting here underneath the floor to spring up at you. What is that, though? Oh, we're just under the floor. Okay. Okay. Okay, I've done the vault. There is actually something semi-interesting to notice there, so... We got tons of gems. The main thing that's cool about the vault is, as you come in here, you can see the space that's already here for each of the different vault boxes. And now, of course, since I already opened everything, you can't see them being rendered as an open box to look at. So I'm not 100% certain that they are here before you open the vault door itself to each one of the lock boxes. But they're here at least where you can see them, which is kind of cool. And in this case, like you can see the letter from out here at least. And there is zero texture on the front side of the door here, by the way. Just in case anyone was wondering. used trophy, I see. Anyway. That's kind of cool to look around still. Monday, December 21st. Oh, hey, if we play a couple more days, we get to Christmas on this file. That should do. Okay, and now, actually, again, as long as we're here, there is nothing inside the box yet. Dun dun dun. When you actually take a look at this and just see the way they use the outline here to make it stand out differently, it's kind of a cool effect for something so simple. And he has a chin, but that's as far as this poor statue ever gets. And there's nothing behind any of the walls here, which, yeah, you really wouldn't expect anything. The hands is kind of interesting, though. I'm not sure why they look like that, because you can't see them. Like, there's no reason for that to be that detailed and freaky looking. But I like it. So, kind of cool. And again, if you missed the eels earlier, I'm actually slightly terrified of eels in real life, so this is, kind of uncomfortable. Not really. But still, it's interesting that even in this nice cartoon format, they still have those soulless eyes of a killer. Like, that eel really wants to kill Simon. Look at it. It's just, it will happily break through this glass and devour his soul. So they really captured that essence of an eel. Now, if I remember correctly, and if this holds the same as last time, you can't actually do free roam from inside room 46. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll grab my crown. So I'm pushing the button for free roam. Oh, it's working this time. Last time I tried this, I was fixed in place and was just like spinning around and freaking out, and like I couldn't do a damn thing. And it wouldn't, and the same thing happened to me in the antechamber. I had to draft one room out from the antechamber while looking into the antechamber into room 46 to have all three rooms rendered before I could actually fly in and take a look around here. So this is a nice change, that I can actually just cleanly take a look around. So we have our fireplace, which does not trap us like the blue one does. Ladyship. Let's see, look, I mean, yeah, if you look, remember when we had the clock tower up here, the room 46 that it was trying to show us was way the hell over here. So it's interesting how much the dimensions change when there actually is a 46. And if I can get a clock tower over here from some fancy drafting, I will. Well, the space is here, but again, of course, the wheel is not. Nothing else really to this place. Yeah, I would like to see. Let's see. Yes, I can still maybe get the clock tower over here if I'm lucky. I would like it right here if I can. Let's get a free redraw. There it is. It's probably not going to look any different, which is slightly wild. Yep, there it is. But look, yeah, I mean, look at it. It's so far removed from where it was a second ago. And, like, you know, here's this window here that bears no resemblance. Oh. To what we can actually see. So, okay, so let's see. If I do this, probably can't. Oh, yeah, see, here's 46. But let's see what happens if I come back down here, fly up. Oh. So now we're back in the clock tower. Which way? I think it was this one, pointing north. And now that room is totally different. We're back to just seeing actual 46. It's so far, so different though. But again, I mean, you can see this window here. I'm not sure what has happened there. There's no window up there like in that top that, you know, would make any sense whatsoever to be there. This fireplace is not accounted for unless they're saying the chimney like goes up and bends around and then goes up out that central steeple. So like the, you know, it's not a really big revelation to say this, but the physics of this room make no sense whatsoever. Alright, so I'm just kidding. Okay, there's nothing under here. Didn't think there would be. What I actually really want here is just a much better look at this, because the only other thing that's in color on this picture, so we have her necklace with the red gem on it, the ruby for the moon, the emerald bracelet, and an as yet unnamed, undiscovered, unknown ring that definitely has some color on it. And I can't, like, it can't really finesse. Okay, there we go. Okay, I almost think that's like a lucky clover. Like, just the shape of it looks sort of clover-like. Can't think of what else that is, though. Like, and that could just be my brain saying, no, that looks like a clover. Don't look at it. Don't consider any other shapes. I don't know, but again, I had heard, and I think I saw a bad picture. Ooh, could be a butterfly. Good call, Nadia. I had heard that there was a ring, and I'd seen a bad picture of it, I think. So I was curious to get up here and look at it for myself. I had thought it looked blue from a distance, and there's that sort of purplish band to it. Could it be holly? Ah, nope. Nope. I'm not sure I can interpret a holly leaf there. definitely the piece that's pointed up towards her body more is definitely like a more bulbous and paler color, like it's white, compared to the three other ones around the other side. Maybe it's a turnip. I don't know. Can't think of anything else that it might be with that shape. But as long as we're here, let's kind of poke around a little bit, see if we see anything else that we might have missed about the room. I think everyone's pretty much torn this room apart. What's up? Suspicious vase. I want to smash you with a hammer. But it's cool though, when you fly out, now you can see the light source that's just placed out here. Kind of cool that you can see that. Alright. I think that about does it for this day, but we're set up to go check out the Atelier tomorrow, and that's the last thing that's on my list. Screw it, let's take a look around in the freezer. Oh, again, we're not zoomed in, we're not looking. You can read the letter if you get the right angle on it without it being picked up. Huh. I guess we should probably take a look in his freezer as well. Fall only in the event of my death. That is wild that it's just sitting here, still visible at that level of detail. That is pretty cool. Last stop on our... No, I never did find the bookstore. I'll have to try that some other day. When this comes out on YouTube, if I find anything in the book, if there is something interesting at the bookstore, or even if there isn't, I may just splice it in right about here. If there was a bookstore there, great. If not, I didn't do it yet. But we are on day 46, which is an auspicious day to be checking this out. Let's go see what the Atelier has to show us. I am so wildly curious about what's going to happen right now. Secret passage. Alright, so at the point we've done this, just curious. Nothing here yet. Interesting, that just clips right through the wall right there. Alright, let's take a peek around, shall we? Don't really expect to see anything in here. Where are we out here, though? Oh my god, wow! It's already there, look at that. That is wild, like it's all, you can see it clip through the rest of the landscape there. That is crazy, though. But yeah, well, I mean, the room's not here, though. The hallway is. But the individual rooms aren't yet. Interesting. Did I see something below the level? Whoa! Oh, okay. No, that's the reflection for the entrance hall underneath. Interesting that that's there already. What the hell? Oh, that's not creepy at all. Okay, now I'm very curious about what this is going to look like. Well, you can still see all that stuff over there. That entrance hall. I wonder if that's why this one's here. Or is it just because it's the first thing we... Because we're not even in that room yet, so... Oh, yeah, see, as soon as we get a little ways away from it. But again, the hallway, since the hallway is all one room, it's all rendered the whole way through. Interesting. See, there is a space back here. This is behind the door that never opens. I guess it's just easier to, when designing it, to just place that spot there and then close it off rather than have a gap and worry about it. And let's see, this... I might need my map up just for reference here. Atelier. Alright, so this is the furnace. Okay, yeah, so this is the original entrance to where the furnace goes. Oh, whoa, there's the observatory. Oh, well, yeah, okay, the observatory is rendered already. I was like, wow, the observatory tower's here already for some reason. Although, oh, look at that. The fact that there is that's hiding the house back there with the texture of this. Where there's sky above a room that's open, so because that has the opening in it and because this has open air, it's got a false, or it's got something that's hiding the manor. That is wild. Alright, well, let's see. Let's solve one of these the wrong way here. We are at the Prism Pristine where we are, so let's just... I'm not sure I remember the actual path for this, but we'll do our best here. Nope, not you. You're purple. Nope, not you. Alright, I might need my map for this. I know how to get it through it the right way. I don't know how to get through it the wrong way. Alright, orange might be easier.
Orange. I think we go this way. Orange. Should be this way. That's green. Purple. Nope, okay. we're going this way next. Orange. Orange. And all sorts of... Oh, yeah, I think we're pretty sure we go through the foundation. That should be red. This should be orange? Yes. Okay, now I'm on track. Okay, should be back to orange around. Let's see. Yeah, this way. Through here. I think. Yes.
Okay, now if I stop here... Big surprise. And now we're in that space behind the wall. So there's a very narrow spot here where they have that wall texture for you to open into. Interesting. So I mean that is always there, so it's not a question of what else is going on. That has not picked a color yet. But it should. Yep, as soon as I got to this last lantern, now it's picked the orange. Okay. So now let's head back out. Gotta remember how to get out of here efficiently. The yellows. Are we back to the prism? Yes. Okay. Now let's go through it for real.
Alright, so... yeah, this way, to right. Left. Left. Pass through. Right. Right. Pass through, pass through. Left, left. Okay, now...
As of right, there it is. So that's now there. And the room is rendered. But... Interesting that, okay, now this... Huh. I do like it that you can see that instant when it appears. Let's go check the ballroom out in a second here. Good idea, Nadia. I assume it will, but also let's go take another look at the ballroom and the entrance hall while we're actually in the room. And if we go back around the outside here, yeah, this is a blank door since we've already opened it. Alright, I don't remember where the ballroom is here. So it's ballroom. Okay, so we go down here until we get to a red. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Okay, so this... It does, even though you cannot see through it. Huh. That's interesting, because there's no reason why that should be there, because you can't see through it. So this, I mean, this may really have been used and just copied from the model used in the actual house for the actual room. Like, this literally is a blueprint for the room that's used in the real house, and he just copied it, pasted it, wiped the colors, and, you know, just otherwise left it as is. Yeah, I mean, hell, there's the foundation right there. Which I guess... Where's the foundation? Right over there? Yeah, foundation. Interesting. 'Cause, I mean, you can't fall in, but I don't remember if that's normal or if that's something different because I've been messing around with free roam. If you seeing that space down there instead of like a blackness or a blue color void. All right, there's that. So then now we're back to the entrance hall, which again should have. And again, no reason for it except copying the original. And I think if you draft the foundation outside, I think there was something weird like in the way it showed up. Like you could see a reflection, and those looked wrong. Like they looked like this sort of texture in them instead of what they should look like. There's something like that where I know I've seen that before, where you can see this sort of texture instead of the artwork on the walls in some weird ways of getting it to bug out a little bit. I don't remember how to do it though, but I know I've seen mention of that, and I think I saw someone do it on their stream once. And still, the bird baths. But that is just wild. Look at that thing. Whoops. And again, I am not a video game programmer. Oh, hello. Oh, that's it. There's that same thing, even though we're not. Huh, okay. But I can only imagine, like, the genius that it took to build this thing to make it work so smoothly the way that it does. So, all right. Unless we magically get a bookshop in a library and into a bookshop here, I think this is going to call it a day, and that'll be the last thing that we're looking at tonight. Let's go see if we can pull a miracle here. Okay, library. We get a study for redraws. Can we get a study game? Study! Alright. Banner of the King. Yellow. Oh no! I blocked... I blocked off the space from the library. Didn't even stop and think about it. Alright, well that feels like a pretty fitting way to end this. For anybody who stopped by, if anybody was lurking, thanks a lot for being here. Anybody who's still hanging out, thank you again. Appreciate you being here. There's so much interesting stuff. I mean, there's still more to find. The biggest thing that's still haunting me in all of the stuff we've looked at is the space behind the king portrait. And Nadia, were you here for that? The space behind the king mural down in the Aries court? Because there was a spot. Okay, yeah. I'm just... It's like... That's going to drive me nuts, the fact that that's there still. Of everything else that we've looked at, there's some cool coincidences, and there's some interesting stuff, but the fact that that's there is still just... It's going to feed the conspiracy theories running in my head. So... Anyway, yeah, so if anybody... For hanging out... thank you for, if you're watching this later on in the VOD, because you're curious, come catch a live show sometime. Mondays are pretty much BluePrince nights, and I normally do bingo. Today was just a weird exception because I wanted to test this out and see what I could find. Nadia, thank you so much. Have a good night. Get some good sleep. Appreciate you being here. I'll chat at you tomorrow at some point in Dread Stream, probably. And if they're watching this later on YouTube, once it's come out, again, come catch a live show sometime. If you're into BluePrints, I don't plan on stopping weird game modes anytime soon. Still making up new ones. Anyway, so thank you, YouTube. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this content and you want to come back for some more. I would very much appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already. There's plenty of BluePrints content already there, and I'll have more bingo and more game modes recorded and posted as soon as I can get through editing the videos on them and playing more BluePrints. So thanks a lot.